Sheriff Scott Israel. Israel reportedly has told his staff he expects that to happen. Jim?
Winter storm warnings, wicked weather over the central and southern plains and Rockies, heavy snow from Colorado over Missouri, portions of Kansas and southern Nebraska, and it is all heading east. Ahead of the market's opening, S&P futures down 5 points. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Like, why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment? Like the rowing machine. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing a ton of manual lake travel these days.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, equal housing insurer.
Indeed knows finding the right hire takes time away from your business.
Hiring a qualified data engineer felt like a second job.
More job seekers use Indeed than any other site, so there's no better place to find someone with the skills you're looking for.
I needed someone with a master's in computer science and database experience.
Plus, Indeed screener questions help you find your shortlist fast.
Now I'm back to having just one job.
Get a $50 credit to give your first job posting premium placement at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, quality standards, and usage limits apply. Additional terms online.
Got fiber? The World Health Organization has got good news. Reported by CBS's Matt Piper.
So much for that low-carb diet. Grab the fiber instead. A new report by the World Health Organization says eating fiber found in whole grain cereals, pasta, and bread will cut your chances of heart disease and early death. Sugar is a bad carb, but fiber is a good one. But so many choose diets that reject carbohydrates, the study says. But carbs with fiber, scientists are saying, can save lives, helping with diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Andy Murray is headed for the sidelines. The popular British tennis champ says he's been in pain for about 2 years now. With tears in his eyes, Murray telling a news conference ahead of the Australian Open, lingering hip issues will force him to leave the game he loves. Says he'll try to gut his way to Wimbledon, but says this Australian Open could be his last professional tournament. I'm Jim Taylor, CBS News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? Do you feel like there's no way out? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Get off the debt treadmill and stop the harassment. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Call now at 866-844-7344 for free information. For about 10 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Get off the endless cycle without having to declare bankruptcy. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are getting the morning started off at 6:06 and 22 degrees. I'm Wes Royce filling in for Henry this morning. Henry's going to be going and celebrating the quarterly chamber breakfast this morning with some other folks on the staff. So I will be sitting in the Henry Royce chair today, and to my right here in just a few moments we'll be joined with a guest host today, which is going to be none other than my Uncle Sam Royce. So that'll be the show for this morning. Hope everybody sticks around and checks it out. Should be a good show. All right, let's start off right with birthdays, shall we? I want to say happy birthday today to Eloise Jackson. Now, Eloise is our Good as Gold honoree today. If you see Eloise Jackson, be sure to pat her on the back. Tell her she's good as gold from her friends at WCLU and a little taste of Texas. Also, we have Maggie Brown, Cindy Rutledge, Margie Dawsey on the birthday list today, along with Madison Curley. Anna Coulter, Josh Bowles is turning 46 today. How about Jeff Gibson with the birthday? Susan Nichols, G. Settles, A.D. Herndon, Reuben Runyon has a birthday, and it's Brianna Beard celebrating her 20th birthday for today. Also on Saturday, we have more birthdays to tell you about. We have Lauren Irvin on the list, along with Richard Stewart, Angela Clay, Bobby Druin, Kenny Sarton, Ronnie Jeffries. Happy birthday Saturday to Steve Jones, Melissa Crumpton, Hannah Kingree, John Rogers. Gwen Young has a birthday Saturday, along with Krista George Duckett, and an anniversary Saturday for Bill and Kelly Milan. That's 9 years for Bill and Kelly Milan. Sunday, we're celebrating birthdays for Lacey Dawn Wood. Chris Poor is holding on at 49. We've got Jason Botts, Patricia Just, Mary Lee Klein, Hadley Hammer with a birthday Sunday, along with Amanda Garman, Michelle Crabtree, Dean Glass, Karen Morgan, and Tina Brown. And we got more birthdays coming in on the phone lines right now, so why don't we just pause and hear from Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
So how close is it? Well, somebody hearing this under a winter weather advisory just north of Barron County. Winter weather advisories kick in, so that includes Hart, Greene, Taylor, Casey, points east and north of that. I knew it'd be close. How's that for close? Can't get any closer unless the advisories were in through Barron County and the surrounding counties to the east and south. Winter weather advisory for maybe some accumulating snow and ice. Those kick into the previously mentioned areas at 10 o'clock tonight until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it will be tricky to travel in some spots. So we're going to be a forecast you're going to want to stay tuned to. And here's how it goes in terms of the details of the forecast. It's all going to be within a few miles where you get changeable conditions. We cloud over today, 43, then some steady rain early this evening with showers overnight with some sleet or freezing rain or snow mixing in later. In the low 30s, as you get into the advisory area or close to it, there could be some icing or light accumulations of snow and ice. Rain showers and steady rain around tomorrow. I think we get another round of steady rain later in the mid-40s with maybe more ice and snow north, and then some steady rain tomorrow evening, continuing into showers overnight with showers ending by midday Sunday with highs in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Now let's take a look at the constant coverage in-studio radar screen. We got it zoomed out so you can see where this precipitation that Ray's talking about is coming from, coming pretty much due west of us right there in the middle part of the country and heading east. So be aware of that. Be aware of some winter advisory type stuff like that. Want to be sure and add one more birthday list honoree today, and that is Ava Claire Pendleton turning 6, and we got some more on the voicemail, so we will check that out. Now let's take a look at the current conditions. The barometer is at 30.37. Winds are northwest 3 miles an hour with an 85% humidity this morning. We do not have any precipitation over the last 24 hours. That gets us caught up so far. Coming up next, the live and local news you depend on here on WCLU.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Legendary Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Legendberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Legendberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
It just takes one look at the new facility at 1300 West Main Street, and you can tell the People's Bank is growing. And that's because we have great customers who know a thing or two about growth. And what they'll all tell you is, well, the best growth strategy has always been hard work. That's why when it came time for Jerry Anderson to expand his cattle operation, he trusted the growth of his herd to the People's Bank, who worked hard to find the unique solutions to fit his needs. Experience what growth can be like with the People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
To your EPB bill, contact the Glasgow EPB.
Have you considered what your retirement looks like? Here are some things about retirement that may surprise you. 64% of retirees say they are confident about having enough money to live comfortably throughout their retirement years. Yet according to the Economic Policy Institute, nearly half of families have no retirement account savings at all. In 2017, more than 67% of retirees depended on Social Security as a major source of their income. The average monthly Social Security benefit at the beginning of 2018 was $1,404. Due to health care costs associated with living longer, 26% of workers now intend to keep working until age 70 and beyond, and 10% don't intend to retire at all. The 65 and older group is expected to become larger and have more influence in the future. Have you made arrangements for health care? Are you comfortable with your investment decisions? If you are unsure about your decisions, give the Fouch Wealth Advisory Group, Sam Dickinson, or Brian Basinger a call at 270-651-2663. Investment counseling since 1854. Securities offered by JJB Hillier W. Alliance LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC, and FINRA. Investing in securities involves risks. For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce reporting. Yesterday afternoon, the Kentucky State Police Post 3 Bowling Green received a call for service in reference to a two-vehicle injury collision involving a passenger car and a commercial vehicle. The collision had occurred near the Louisville Road, US 31W, approximately 1 mile south of Park City in Edmonson County. Trooper Daniel Pretty, along with other KSP personnel, responded to the collision. A preliminary investigation has revealed that James E. Arms, age 32, of Park City, was operating a 1999 Chevrolet passenger car traveling southbound on the Louisville Road when his vehicle exited the right shoulder of the roadway briefly. Arms re-entered the roadway, overcorrecting, causing his vehicle to rotate counterclockwise across the yellow center line of the roadway into the path of travel of Stephanie Dawkins, age 26, of Scottsdale, Georgia, who was traveling northbound in a 2016 Freightliner semi-truck. Dawkins' vehicle then struck the passenger side of Arms' vehicle. Both Arms and a passenger, Lavonda J. Flannery, age 45, of Rocky Hill, were pronounced dead on the scene by the Edmonson County Coroner's Office. They were unrestrained at the time of the collision. Stephanie Dawkins did not report an injury. The investigation continues and is currently being led by Trooper Daniel Pretty. He was assisted on the scene by other KSP personnel, Edmonson County Sheriff's Department, Park City, Cleveland, and Rocky Hill Fire Departments, Edmonson County Coroner's Office, and the Medical Center EMS. No further information is available for release at this time. The Barron County Schools Board of Education had their first meeting of the year last night at the central office. It was the first board meeting for newly elected member Mike Miller. Miller replaces Charlotte Beals, who did not run for re-election. Superintendent Bo Matthews recognized the importance of a strong board at the onset of the meeting.
We start off with School Board Appreciation Month, and we want to thank all of our locally elected school board members for their service to the students and staff of the Barron County School District. They're good stewards with the taxpayers of Barron County's money, and we certainly appreciate the vision that they have for this district, and want to credit them and past board members for all the forward momentum that we have and the great things that are happening for our youth.
Assistant Superintendent Courtney Cruz reviewed the current board positions.
Our board chair is Carrie Dilly. Vice chair is Shelley Gross. Other board members are Tammy Gross, Amanda Wright, and Mike Miller. We certainly thank them for being the school district's greatest volunteers.
The board was treated to a showcase of the district's health and wellness activities using grants and partnerships. Here's Nutrition and 21st Century Director Cheyenne Fant.
We had a showcase, our Health and Wellness Forum, showcased last night before the board meeting at 4 p.m., and we had over 30 students who came from each of Barron County schools to showcase all the health and wellness activities that they're doing within the school day and beyond the school day. So students were there to showcase all of the wonderful things that have been going on in partnership with our Alliance for a Healthier Generation grant. We also launched a new app that was student-created. One of the students one of the adult students from BC Interact Skills and two of our high school students worked together to create an app that allows students to be able to track their 95210 participation.
What is 95210 participation?
If students get 9 hours of sleep, 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, 2 hours or less of screen time, an hour of physical activity, or 0 sugary beverages, they can submit a ticket, and now they can do that via the app. And we give away prizes at each school each month.
In other business, the board learned from Director of Pupil Personnel Anthony Frazier that school will start 1 week later next year. Frazier said based on parent surveys, the consensus was for the first day of school next fall to be August the 14th, and the board passed the first draft of next year's budget. Finance Director Joe Murley said it's a process they have to look closely at.
There's a lot of unknowns still. We do know that classified costs will still go up. The pension costs will go up for every school district.
Pension costs sure to be the topic of discussion at the current legislative session in Frankfort. Recognitions at the board meeting included Students of the Month Riley Decker from Highsville Elementary and Aaron Russell from Barron County High School, Certified Employee of the Month Tammy Jones from Highsville, Classified Employee of the Month Mickey Lindsay from Highsville, and the Volunteer of the Month is Trevor Phillips from Highsville. We'll have more news from the board in later newscasts. Wednesday evening, Glasgow police arrested Dustin Tyler Vibbert on drug charges after dispatchers notified officers of a complaint at the dollar store on Columbia Avenue and had an outstanding warrant for his arrest. Vibbert was arrested without incident. However, Suboxone was found in his pockets. He was charged with possession of a controlled substance, second degree, and lodged in the Barron County Jail. More local news when we continue here on WCLU.
BG Tire is way more than just tires. They are your full-service tire and automotive center. They offer pickup and drop-off service to your home or business to save your precious time. Alignments, oil changes, brake work. BG Tire does it all, including emergency roadside assistance 24 hours a day. Put your faith in the company Bowling Green has trusted for 4 generations. BG Tire, 1046 Lovers Lane, Bowling Green, across from BG Home Furnishings.
In more local news at this hour, U.S. District Chief Judge Greg N. Stivers sentenced James L. Holland, Jr. of Monroe County to 108 months imprisonment, followed by a lifetime of supervision, and ordered him to pay $32,000 in restitution to 6 victims for possession of child pornography, announced U.S. Attorney Russell M. Coleman. There is no parole in the federal system. Holland, age 63 of Gamaliel, pled guilty to possession of child pornography on the morning of the first day of the trial back in September without the benefit of a plea agreement. According to a sentencing memo filed in the case on July the 4th of 2016, a Kentucky State Police trooper conducting an online undercover operation on a peer-to-peer network downloaded child pornography that was tracked back to the IP address associated with Holland. KSP obtained a search warrant for Holland's residence and executed it on August 11th of 2016. During the search of Holland's home, investigators observed a computer in Holland's bedroom that was running a peer-to-peer file-sharing program and uploading files to the internet. A preliminary investigation of a hard drive in the home revealed hundreds of files containing child exploitation material. Several electronic storage devices were seized from Holland's home. A KSP forensic review of the hard drives revealed approximately 1,943 files of child pornography, including images and videos. Additional child pornography was also found on an external hard drive connected to Holland's computer. The device contained copies of files that KSP downloaded from Holland between July 4th and July 6th of 2016. The Warren County Sheriff's Office was notified of a scam where a subject called a citizen telling them he was Microsoft and there was a problem with their computer. The caller asked for permission to remotely access the computer to fix the problem. Once access was granted, the caller then stated he located the problem and there was a cost to repair it. Caller then asks for a debit or credit card number and told the owner the transaction was denied. The owner was then instructed to purchase a Google gift card and provide them with the information. Sheriff Hightower is asking citizens of Warren County to be vigilant of phone scams and never give out personal or financial information over the phone. The Allen County Sheriff's Office will be accepting applications for a deputy sheriff position. Persons applying must be 21 years of age, have a valid Kentucky driver's license, high school diploma, no felony convictions, no misdemeanor convictions for domestic violence, or have an EPO or DVO on them from any state. POPS certification may include a physical fitness test, polygraph, drug screen, background investigation, and suitability screening. This is a full-time hazardous CERT retirement position with full-time benefits package. Beginning salary is $32,520. This is WCLU Local News. I'm Wes Royce.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jaleesa Chatman. Governor Matt Bevin says he is planning to file for re-election in 2019. Bevin said he will file the necessary paperwork before the January 29th deadline. He is undecided on his choice of running mate. The current lieutenant governor is Janine Hampton. A Kentucky representative wants to eliminate the state's pink tax.
House Bills 23 and 24 would eliminate the state's 6% sales tax on feminine hygiene products, diapers, and other baby products. Representative Atticus Scott sponsors the bill and tells WLKY.
When I think about families who have multiple babies in the home and the tax that they're paying on diapers, that gets costly. I know. I'm a mom of 2 kids.
The exemption would last for 4 years, allowing the state to review its financial impact at the end of that time. I'm Haley Hansen.
The Kentucky Legislators' Pro-Life Caucus is proposing several bills intended to further restrict access to abortion in the state. The legislators yesterday announced the package of bills, which included Senate Bill 9 that would ban abortion in Kentucky after a fetal heartbeat is detected. This can happen as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy. Previous abortion restrictions are facing legal challenges in federal court. A bold new attempt is being made by Congresswoman Debbie Dingell to stop drunk driving. The Michigan Democrat is introducing legislation to require all new vehicles have interlock breathalyzer devices as standard equipment after a suspected drunk driver killed a suburban Detroit family of 5 this past weekend in Lexington.
Congress has never had the will to take it on. I have to go home tomorrow to a community that is still grieving. I can't look them in the eye unless we're really willing to try to do something.
Dingell called it a moral imperative to do everything possible to save lives and pledged to work with both sides in Congress to get changes made. I'm Jaleesa Chapman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com. WCLU news time is 22 degrees here in downtown Glasgow at 6:23. In area funeral announcements at this hour, Roex Barrick, age 81 of Glasgow, died Wednesday at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. He was born in Barron County, son of the late Leslie Barrick and Opal Jaron Barrick. Mr. Barrick was a U.S. Army veteran and retired from the city of Glasgow as the recycle manager. He was a longtime member of the Old Zion Methodist Church. Survivors include 2 daughters, Melinda Beard of Glasgow and Kay Hodges and husband Tim of Summershade, 1 son, Nathan Barrick, and wife Stacy of Glasgow, and grandson Jonathan Beard and wife Morgan of Glasgow, great-granddaughter Ruby Catherine Ann Beard of Glasgow. In addition to his parents, he is preceded in death by his wife, Martha Ann Mutter Barrick. Funeral services for Roex Barrick will be at 2 p.m. on Sunday at the Old Zion Methodist Church with burial in the Old Zion Cemetery. Military honors will be provided by DAV Chapter 20 of Glasgow. Visitation will be on Saturday from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. and Sunday morning until noon at the A.F. Crow and Son Funeral Home. Then Sunday afternoon from 1 p.m. until time of service at the Old Zion Methodist Church. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that a memorial contribution be made to the Old Zion Cemetery Fund. Donation envelopes are available at the funeral home. Gregory Rossi, 63 of Scottsville, passed away Wednesday at his residence. The Pikeville native married Deborah K. Taylor Rossi, who survives, on February 20th of 1991. He was retired from the U.S. Army Medical Corps. He was a loving husband, father, grandfather, brother, and friend. In addition to his wife, he is survived by 1 son, Justin Rossi of Scottsville, 1 stepson, Cale Clinton Clarkson of Bowling Green, 1 daughter, Amy Knopfsinger of Bowling Green, 2 stepdaughters, Megan Walters of Smiths Grove and Rachel Dombrowski of Scottsville, 2 brothers, Tracy Rossi and Robert Rossi, both of Bowling Green, and 12 grandchildren also survive. A private celebration of life service for Gregory Rossi will be conducted Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Arrangements are in the direction of the Harwood and Strode Funeral Home in Scottsville. Funeral services for Judy Faye Tooley Biggerstaff, 64 of Tompkinsville, will be at 2 p.m. on Sunday at the Yoakley Tribble Funeral Home with burial in the Monroe County Memorial Lawn. Visitation is Saturday from 5 until 8 p.m. and Sunday from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. A graveside service for Paul W. Crafton Sr., 81 of Indiana, will be at 2 p.m. on Sunday at the Campground Cemetery. There will be no visitation. Seago Funeral Home is in charge of the services. A celebration and remembrance of the life of Earl Melton will be held at 1 p.m. Saturday at the Veterans Community Center in Burkesville. Funeral services for Irvin Tooley, 73 of Tompkinsville, will be at 1 p.m. Saturday at the Oakley Tribble Funeral Home with burial in the Mount Nebo Cemetery. Visitation is tonight from 5 until 8 p.m. and on Saturday from 6 a.m. until 1 p.m. Funeral services for Oreen G. Logston, 86 of Cub Run, will be at noon on Saturday at Cherry Springs Baptist Church with burial in the Center Point Cemetery. Visitation is today from 3 until 8 p.m. at the Seago Funeral Home and Saturday after 10 a.m. at the church. Funeral services for Cassie R. Blankenship, 32 of Glasgow, will be at 1 p.m. on Saturday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home with burial in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation is tonight from 5 until 8 p.m. and Saturday morning until time for the service. Memorial services for David Ramsey Gritton, age 65 of Scottsville, will be at 6 p.m. tonight at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home with burial of his cremains in the Ridgewood Memorial Park in Des Plaines, Illinois. Funeral services for Nelda Eaton Strode, 82 of Austin, will be at 1 p.m. today at the Harwood and Strode Funeral Home in Scottsville with burial to follow in the Union No. 1 Missionary Baptist Church Cemetery. Memorials are suggested to the Union No. 1 Missionary Baptist Church Cemetery and can be made at the funeral home. Funeral services for Verna Massey, 88 of Glasgow, will be at 2 p.m. today at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home with burial in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Funeral services for Laney Lee Powell, age 62 of Stanford, formerly of Glasgow, will be at 11 a.m. today at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home with burial in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day online at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary. Right now, 22 degrees at 628. Local weather, birthdays, and more coming up next here on Good Morning Live, WCLU.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
The only place you need to go for all of your automotive needs is Gilead.com. Log on to browse our entire inventory of nearly 400 new and pre-owned vehicles. Take a video test drive, see the Carfax Vehicle History Report, calculate payments, apply for financing, get an instant cash offer for your vehicle from Kelley Blue Book, and check out our sales, parts, and service specials. All this with just a click of a mouse. The only place.
Order a spacious facility in Southgate Plaza. We price, arrange, organize, and display items to be sold. We advertise your sale, and we research items for maximum return. Don't take on this daunting task without getting the right help. Barren River Consignment will make it simple for you. Come by our store behind Pizza Hut in the yellow and green building. We'll explain every detail, give you a contract to read over ahead of time, and answer every question. Barren River Consignment can maximize your results. Call 270-629-6666 for more information.
Okay, WCLU News Time is 6:30, and 6:30, I want to welcome to the show this morning Mr. Sam Royce. Sam, how are you, sir?
Good morning, Wes. I'm glad to be here. Glad you're feeling better, and good morning to everybody.
Everybody's healthy, and Dad's going to attend the chamber banquet this morning, and so the guest host this morning is my Uncle Sam, and I'm happy to have him in here. The head baseball coach of the Glasgow Scotties will bring you the sports this morning. Go ahead and give us the sports.
All right, Westerfield, and basketball scores from last night in girls action. Edmonson County defeated Hart County 68-56. Whitesville Trinity defeated Cumberland County 46-25. And in boys basketball last night, Edmondson County defeated Cumberland County 61-34. And Whitesville Trinity lost to South Warren 72-67. Basketball action tonight locally. Glasgow Scotties welcome Allen County Scottsville to Scotty Gym for a 15th District Girl-Boy doubleheader with the girls playing first at 6. Joe Myers, Larry Alexander, and Bruce Tribune will have the broadcast of both games started at 5:50 on Light 102.3 and WCLU 103.1 FM, and, of course, 1490 AM. We're online at playwclu.com. Another girl-boy doubleheader action tonight. Barron County hosts Monroe County. Caverna entertains Greene County. Hart County is at home against LaRue County. Clinton County is on the road at Russell County. Warren East plays at Greenwood. Warren Central plays host to Bowling Green, but in fact I saw where that ball game has been postponed to next week for some reason. Franklin Simpson goes to Russellville, and the Logan County Cougars will play at home against Todd County. And our other girls action tonight, girls only, Medcalf County travels to Adair, and South Warren visits Muhlenberg County. So there's a brief check of the sports report, Wes. And
that's what we got.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Uncle Sam. And we're going to need to check the weather forecast as well. We'll come back with that. Ray Stajic will tell us more here on WCLU. Stay with us. Hack Whitty, Marita Whitty Lyle, David Whitty, Becky Lyle, names that have been trusted in this community for quality auto repairs for 46 years. Names you can continue to trust for many years to come. At Whitty's Complete Car Care, they specialize in all your car repair needs, including brakes, tune-ups, and diagnostics. And you won't believe their amazing tire prices. If you're ever in need of towing or unlocking service, Jeff is ready and waiting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Whitty's Complete Car Care on Rogers Road in Glasgow, 46 years and counting.
We cloud over today, 43, then some steady rain early this evening with showers overnight with some sleet or freezing rain or snow mixing in later. In the low 30s, as you get into the advisory area or close to it, there could be some icing or light accumulations of snow and ice. Rain showers and steady rain around tomorrow. I think we get another round of steady rain later in the mid-40s with maybe more ice and snow north, and then some steady rain tomorrow evening, continuing into showers overnight with showers ending by midday Sunday with highs in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Let's take a look at our current conditions this morning, Sam.
Current conditions this morning, the barometer is at 30.37. Winds outside of northwest at 3 miles per hour. Humidity is 85%. Precipitation is none. And as Westerfield said earlier, it's still a very cool 22 degrees outside this morning.
It is. It's one of those extra 5 minutes to get the car defrosted sort of mornings. So that's what we've got in the way of the weather forecast. We got 3 days worth of birthday honorees. The phone lines are open here at 270-651-9149. Ralphie's Fun Center brings you today's birthday list coming up next.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
That is a great place to have a birthday party, and they're going to be hopping this weekend with lots of activities for the kids at Ralphie's Fun Center. Let's go ahead and get with our Ralphie's Fun Center birthday list. Sam, who do we have on the list this morning?
Today's birthdays: Elois Jackson, Maggie Brown, Cindy Rutledge, Margie Dawsey, Madison Curley, Ann Coulter. Josh Bowes is 46 years old. Jeff Gibson, Susan Nichols, G. Settles, A.D. Herndon, Reuben Runyon, Brianna Beard is 20. Ava Claire Pendleton is 6. LaTanya Hayes and Terry Shannon all celebrating birthdays today. Tomorrow, January 12, Lauren Irvin, Richard Stewart, Angela Clay, Bobby Druin, Kenny Sarton, Ronnie Jeffries, Melissa Crumpton, Steve Jones, Hannah Kingery, John Rogers, Gwen Young, Krista George Duckett. And then on Sunday, the list goes as Lacey Dawn Wood. Chris Poore turns 49 years old.
He's the sound man down at the historic
good
Sam
PA
Royce Field.
Man down. He entertaining and does a very good job, and we appreciate him. So happy birthday to Chris Poore, who will turn 49 years old. Jason Botts, Patricia Just, Mary Lee Klein, Hadley Hammer, Amanda Garman, Michelle Crabtree, Dean Glass, Kevin Morgan, and Tina Brown.
That's a good list.
As my Duck Dynasty Band-Aid says this morning, happy, happy, happy birthday to all of those folks.
That's right. And one of those, well, actually, two of those folks on that birthday list, they're going to win something today. We'll be giving away the Greer's Florist Rosebud Vase like we do each and every day, as well as the Dairy Queen birthday cake. Special reminder to our winners of that award on the birthday cake, you must pick it up on the day you win it, because, they can't just have hundreds of delicious birthday cakes waiting on you, and everybody come in one day. So please come in on your day. All right. When we come back, we're going to get Sam Terry on the line, a local historian, and we're going to do some archiving, taking things back 100 years in local history. That's all coming up next here on Good Morning Live.
You need to go for all of your automotive needs is GillyHide.com. Log on to browse our entire inventory of nearly 400 new and pre-owned vehicles. Take a video test drive, see the Carfax Vehicle History Report, calculate payments, apply for financing, get an instant cash offer for your vehicle from Kelley Blue Book, and check out our sales, parts, and service specials. All this with just a click of a mouse.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
And remember, GlasgowKYHomes.com.
At Southern Kentucky Collision, we know a lot about the weather, not so much about the science, but we see firsthand how weather can contribute to accidents, collisions, and mishaps that are dangerous and costly. We encourage you to know the weather and increase your awareness and remove any distractions when weather conditions worsen. Southern Kentucky Collision has many satisfied customers who were involved in weather-related mishaps. That's why we encourage you to pay attention at all times, but certainly when the weather turns bad. If you experience a mishap, call on the experience of Southern Kentucky Collision. 37 years developing an impeccable reputation of quality work and customer satisfaction. Located just across the track on Industrial Drive in Glasgow, let us take the hassle out of repairing a damaged vehicle. Need to talk? Call 270-651-6413.
Crabtree, is that Brian's wife?
I'm not sure. All right, folks, we are getting ready to do some archiving this morning. I'm Wes Royce, filling in for Henry, and happy to be joined with Sam Royce. And we're also happy to be joined with Sam Terry, who will join us for the archives here in just a moment. The archives are brought to you by Joseph A. Wade and Amenesis Home Health. 15,000 inventory items, custom brake hoses while you wait, cylinder repair. Is there anything Joseph A. Wade can't do? Well, one thing's for sure, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated serves a large community of people who believe there's no job they can't do, and that's the same attitude Joseph A. Wade has in their line of work. So for the smallest screws, Allen wrenches, or drill bits, or even a 5-stage hydraulic cylinder measuring 25 feet in length, Joseph A. Wade's motto, no problem. Joseph A. Wade Incorporated, 311 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
Hello, I'm Kathy Murray. Did you know that some healthcare professionals still make house calls? Amenesis Home Health is a group of compassionate professionals who deliver the best care to our patients in their homes. Whether you're recovering from a surgery or recuperating from an illness, our home health nurses, aides, and therapists can provide medication and treatment to you in your home. Ask your doctors if you qualify for home health care, or call Amenesis Home Health Care at 270-651-7640.
The archives. Joined with Sam Terry. Sam, are you there with us? Okay, loud and clear. Everybody's got good audio levels this morning. As we get going for the archives, we're going to thank Sam Terry for joining us this morning. Sam, if you hadn't heard already, I've got a guest host, and Sam Royce is here this morning. So he'll be sitting in with us as well during this portion of our program. And we'll just go ahead and get right to it, thanks to Ray Green and Gail Berry and the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. It was this day in 1919 Mrs. Molly Gantard passed away in Louisville after a lingering illness at the age of 60 years old. She and her husband left here months ago to visit their children in Texas and in Louisville. Besides her husband, who is well known here, she is survived by 4 children, and here are her legacy members of the family there. You've got Mr. George L. Ganter, the well-known optician, Mrs. Richard Koch, and Mrs. Chaz Swearingen of Louisville, if I'm pronouncing that right. And then also Mrs. A.C. Schreiner of Kerrsville, Texas. The remains were brought on the noon train and interred in the Glasgow Cemetery. Mrs. Molly Ganter passing away 100 years ago today. Oh, wow. I remember Mrs. Bobby from the lunchroom. That's the one I remember. And she used to be credited for making Dad bald because she used to like bleach his hair when he was a boy or something. Is that right, Uncle Sam?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And her husband was named George, and that's where we got our haircuts a lot. And her shop was up at the on the square. And I just remember that Mr. Rapp had an office up there. I think he was an architect or something, and it seemed like it was 100 steps to the top of that, to the top where we had to go get our hair. But yes, she cut our hair exactly right.
That's cool. That's cool. So probably some relation there, Sam. All right, well, we'll skip ahead another decade to the year 1929, where here is the headline. At a meeting of the county school board held in the office of Superintendent Tati, that was held, it was agreed that a new building for the colored school in Glasgow will be built as soon as weather will permit. The Rosenwald Fund agrees to contribute the building to the sum of $1,800 if a 4-room brick veneer building is built, and $2,500 if it's a 6-room building, as to which it will be. It has not yet been decided. Either the county or the city school board will furnish the balance of those funds. So, segregated school for the African American children in the community being talked about by the county school board. 90. Right. Kind of sounds like it. The phone's ringing this morning, but something to be proud of that, you know, we were breaking the barriers before some of our neighbors. This day in 1939, Mr. John Coomer, age 36, of Seymour community in Hart County, was recovering from a fractured arm he suffered when he stepped on a banana peel and fell. Bless his heart. That's no good. It was between his elbow and his shoulder, and he was injured several months ago in an accident. And so he is recovering from a banana peel fall. It's not often that you actually hear about that happening.
Usually that's just the punchline of a joke or something like that, but
yes.
that actually happened, and maybe that's where the joke came from, that it actually happened somewhere long ago.
We write it down in history. That's what we have. We have advertising in 1949, Sam. Here's the ad. It says, "The pause that refreshes," and it's only 5 cents. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Glasgow. That was the advertisement saying, "Come have a Coke." Your grandfather.
That's right. That's right. You know, the old Coca-Cola plant was down on in that front street down there. You know, and my grandfather, Wes, your great-grandfather, Paul Biggers Sr., worked for many, many years at that Coca-Cola plant down there. And Mr. Hodges, I think, was the plant manager. This is before Coca-Cola moved out there onto the bypass there.
Right.
And it's hard for me to fathom how that building back then was a manufacturing plant of Coca-Colas when they had their trucks, but that's the way it was back in the day, as they say.
Yeah, it's good to have a piece of that history to take with you. Sam, you were going to say something. All right. Well, here's a name Here's a name we all know. This is the year 1959. Think back now. 1959. James Trigg Pace was cashier of the New Farmers Bank, and he will conclude one of his outstanding year's activities with the Glasgow Chamber of Commerce when he presides over the annual banquet at the Glasgow Country Club, and he will then turn the gavel over to President-elect Phil Wells. Now, some other officers at the chamber during that time period were with Mr. Wells was Mr. W.E. Cook, who was first vice president. Howard M. Jones was the second vice president, and L. Felix Murray was the treasurer of the chamber, and James Trigg Pace, the outgoing president. 1959, Sam.
I'd just like to reiterate that fact that Mr. James Trigg Pace, in my mind, for all of my life, has been a guy that was just a distinguished gentleman. I remember him as a deacon at the Glasgow Baptist Church, and sort of back in those days, at the beginning of the church service, the deacons filed in single file, and Mr. Pace was dressed to the T always. And I just thought, my goodness, he is a distinguished-looking fella. Now, those other guys that you named along with him were very distinguished and legendary folks in the history of Glasgow as well.
L. Felix Murray, and who else did I say there? W.E. Cook.
Howard Malcolm Jones, yep. And there was one other one, too. Mr. Phil Wells. Phil Wells. All of them, and so certainly a huge part of the history and the success of our town.
It doesn't matter how you carry yourself, because it matters how people remember you, and that's how we'll remember James Trigg Pace. We got another decade to talk about. This is the decade of 1969. We have an advertisement, not really a flashy advertisement, but nonetheless I'll read it. This is for the Bank of Summershade with a statement of condition. Assets and liabilities are $3,201,000, $972.88. Roy Grider's the executive vice president. So I guess the thing to take away from that story would be that Roy Grider presided over the Bank of Summershade back in the late 60s. That's right. That's fair. Well, here's what we have 10 years later. In 1979, it was on this day where approximately 30 to 40 families were evacuated after a propane tank truck caught fire at Rowlett's. Now, they do not report of any injuries, but the truck caught on fire, the propane truck. You have to imagine that was a loud boom and a sight to see for miles around. And scary.
Wow.
So that happened 40 years ago today.
As I recall, back in '79, long about this time, and also in '78, as I recall, didn't of course, where she weren't born, but we had some awful big snows at that time where schools were closed for extended periods of time, especially out in the county.
And they needed that propane out that way. Because it was cold.
It's cold. It's cold, about like today.
Gosh. That's a scary thing to think about, but we remember. This day in 1989, Casey Wood, who's the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. David Wood, was crowned Temple Hill's basketball homecoming queen. 1989 on this day. Casey Wood.
Congratulations.
This day in 1999, we have a cool story here, and I almost thought about seeing if he'd come by to talk about it, but we'll have to save it for another day. But Coach Mike Harris from Glasgow High School was named National Golf Coach of the Year. 20 years ago today. Is that 20 years ago? That's 20 years ago.
20 years ago,
1999.
20 years ago.
National Golf Coach of the Year, coming off a string, dynasty, if you will, of state championships.
5 state championships the King had.
Yeah.
And if you'd asked him to come by, he'd have come by probably.
Oh, I know.
He'd have come by. You might have had to extend the program to 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
That's
but
okay.
He'd come by.
Well, you know.
But you know what? He deserved every bit of it too, brother.
Mm-hmm.
He surely does. He surely does. That honor and all the other honors that coaches had bestowed upon him, he deserves it all because he's really good at it.
I don't mind going to 8:30. I just want to be prepared for it.
Well.
So, that's what we have. Sam, you still with us there? I'm sorry. All right. Okay, well, you could comment on this final story here that rounds out the archives from 2009, where we're talking about a rash of suspicious fires continue to plague Glasgow residents and first responders. So, apparently, something in the air and it's warm. That's what I was trying to think back. I was trying to think, was there something that happened that maybe I'm forgetting, because I was around then and kind of paying attention to the news then, and I just don't remember exactly what the plague was about, but I do remember that it had a lot of fires. So I'm sure they do, Sam. The outro music is going for this program, a wonderful program we call The Archives. And special thank you to Ray Green and Gail Berry, and, of course, our local historian, Mr. Sam Terry. Sam, thank you for joining us this morning. And you and Henry have got a lot to talk about next week, because the Archives and the history continues to play itself out. That's all right. My first name is Henry. I'll take it. All right. Thank you, Sam. Have a good day, sir. So that's Sam Terry, and it's just great to have him during that program. Nobody fits that program better than Sam Terry, and it's just cool to kind of hear his take on some things, you know?
It's an unbelievable wealth of knowledge of our local area that Sam Terry possesses, and it'd be hard to stump him, probably.
Probably.
You know, you kind of got him on the fires.
If you stump him, he'll come back with you the next day with, like, you know, that and a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So,
I've often wondered, you were talking about fires in January, which is harder to fight as a firefighter, when it's really cold like this, or when it's really hot in the summer. Now, that has nothing to do with anything. It's just always been an interesting thought for me, which one is harder on the firefighters to work in.
I'd say the winter. Everything just seems a little bit harder in the winter. That's my theory on it. That's my only basis for that. All right, we've had the phone ringing a whole lot this morning. So what we're going to do, we're going to pause, get caught up on some of our voicemails, make sure we have all the information we need to keep this thing going. This is Good Morning Live, 6:55, 22 degrees in downtown Glasgow.
Who will be the future face of Pedigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance. Growing with a proud community since 1902.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
Lessenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Find the next.
One of the saddest things we can ever hear about is learning that a baby has been forgotten about and left in a vehicle and as a result has passed away. Just in the month of May, 2 children died this way. A 13-month-old in the state of Missouri, a 7-month-old in the state of Texas. Both their parents had just gone on doing other things and got so busy, forgot their children were in the car, and the children died. Studies show that about 12 children die this way every single year. It's hard to imagine that we can get so busy that we forget about our children. But as sad as this is, a word of comfort is that our God never gets so busy that he forgets us. Can a woman forget her nursing child, that she should have no compassion on the son of her womb? Yes, these may forget, but I will not forget you, God said in Isaiah 49:15. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
A college degree can mean the difference between a job you need and a career you love. But getting your degree may seem impossible because of your busy schedule. WKU Online is here to help. With over 100 online degree options, you can choose the degree that fits your goals and have the flexibility you need to fit your schedule. So get ready for that career you've been dreaming of and climb with us. Spring registration is going on now. Visit wku.edu/online today, because life at the top is worth the climb.
WCLU News Time 6:58. For those of you just joining us, we've got a weather forecast full of question marks. We'll let Ray Stajic tell you a little bit more what we're talking about. Here's the local weather forecast for this morning.
So how close is it? Well, somebody hearing this under a winter weather advisory just north of Barron County. Winter weather advisories kick in, so that includes Hart, Greene, Taylor, Casey, points east and north of that. I knew it'd be close. How's that for close? Can't get any closer unless the advisories were in through Barron County and the surrounding counties to the east and south. Winter weather advisory for maybe some accumulating snow and ice. Those kick in the previously mentioned areas at 10 o'clock tonight until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it will be tricky to travel in some spots. So we're going to be a forecast you're going to want to stay tuned to. And here's how it goes in terms of the details of the forecast. It's all going to be within a few miles where you get changeable conditions. We cloud over today, 43, then some steady rain early this evening with showers overnight with some sleet or freezing rain or snow mixing in later. In the low 30s, as you get into the advisory area or close to it, there could be some icing or light accumulations of snow and ice. Rain showers and steady rain around tomorrow. I think we get another round of steady rain later in the mid-40s with maybe more ice and snow north, and then some steady rain tomorrow evening, continuing into showers overnight with showers ending by midday Sunday with highs in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. As we look at the constant coverage in-studio radar screen, we zoom out to show you where some of this stuff that Ray's talking about is coming from as the wind blows northwest just slightly this morning. You can see due west of us, quite the system is sweeping across the heart of the country right there, making its way into Illinois this morning and working its way up through southwest and central Tennessee later this afternoon. It's going to be interesting to see whether that will be rain or whether that will be some sort of wintry mix for us. We'll have to keep our eyes posted on that and see, because as you can see on the northeast tip of that system right there, some of that fairly heavy snow, and that's really what we're concerned about at this point. Let's go to our current conditions, Sam.
Barometer still at 30.37. The wind's northwest at 3 miles an hour. Humidity remains at 85%. Precipitation is 0.00, and we are still at 22 degrees, headed towards the low 40s today, Westerfield.
That's right. Not going to get too high up on the thermometer this morning, but nonetheless, some things to be aware of for the weekend. Not necessarily any reason to panic, but just reason to pay attention. So at 7 o'clock, we are inching closer and closer and closer to our favorite part of the day, which is trivia. And that'll be coming up right after this here on WCLU 701.
great piece for your home at Barren River Consignment, where the inventory is designed to provide something for everyone. Affordable household items from mid-century to home decor, including furniture, artwork, dinnerware, glassware, and more. Each piece is cleaned and polished to ensure the highest quality to become the perfect fit for your home. Barren River Consignment also offers estate and tag sale services. Shop for style without breaking the bank. Barren River Consignment, located on L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
It just takes one look at the new facility at 1300 West Main Street, and you can tell the People's Bank is growing. And that's because we have great customers who know a thing or two about growth. And what they'll all tell you is, well, the best growth strategy has always been hard work. That's why when it came time for Jerry Anderson to expand his cattle operation, he trusted the growth of his herd to the People's Bank, who worked hard to find the unique solutions to fit his needs. Experience what growth can be like with the People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Expensive heating your home can be. That's Glasgow Building Supply on 31E Bypass in Glasgow.
Yep, Uncle Sam and I just talked about that roof cam. That's a pretty picture this morning. The sun shining down on our old Kentucky home this morning. As we get ready to ask trivia question for today, we have a new sponsor to tell you about. It's Little Caesars. And so we're pumped up about giving away some Little Caesars this morning to the person who is smart enough to get the question. We'll ask that in 30 seconds.
Listen to the delicious crunch of Little Caesars' new extra most bestest hot and ready thin crust pepperoni pizza for just $6. Hot and ready every day between 4 and 8 p.m. Just walk in and pick up a large, crispy thin crust pizza with the most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price of only $6. Little Caesars thin crust pepperoni pizza. One bite and you'll be back for more.
Pizza. Top 4 national pizza chains. Extra most bestest thin crust pepperoni pizza versus large round one topping thin crust pepperoni pizza. Everyday standard menu prices at participating locations plus tax.
270-651-9149 is the number to call as we ask the question for today. Kick it off for us, Sam.
Here's a question for trivia today. If you are in Kingdom Come, Kentucky, what county are you in?
270-651-9149. Toll free at 1-800-956-1023. Trivia for today. Who wants to win Little Caesars? Ask that question one more time, Uncle Sam.
If you are in Kingdom Come, Kentucky, what county are you in?
Let's go to the phone lines now. Good morning, Trivia. Not Bell County. That was David Walbert. He ought to know this one. Trivia. Not Graves County. 270-651-9149. If you're in Kingdom Come, what Kentucky county are you in? Trivia. That's Letcher County, and that is correct. Who am I speaking with? Hey, Larry, how are you, sir? You ever been to Kingdom Come? All right, Sam, would you write Larry Davidson down on the winner's list for trivia?
I sure will. Congratulations.
I've been to Kingdom Come, and it's right near two other famous Kentucky communities, Beauty and Lovely. Yeah. But if you ever heard the term from here to Kingdom Come, you know it's about 4 hours and 20-minute drive over to Pine Mountain. It is. It's in the eastern part, Letcher County. That's correct. So you say your name was Larry, right? Okay, Larry. Well, come on by and see us here at the studio. We're going to send you down to Little Caesars for some pizza, okay? Larry, have a good weekend. Larry Davidson, our trivia winner for today. It's Letcher County, home of the unincorporated community of Kingdom Come. That's what we've got, Uncle Sam.
That's interesting. That is interesting.
I have driven through there a couple of times. You know, Kingdom Come's one of those little communities over there that you can't get. You have to get there on accident, just about. and you don't want to veer off the road because everywhere in Kingdom Come has about it's 150 feet for the next level.
Got a big drop off.
I mean, it's scary. You don't. People over there get reelected for taking credit for putting rails on the side of the road.
Well, that's a necessary piece of equipment when you're driving on those roads.
And
did you say it's a state park over there?
There is a Kingdom Come State Park.
Well,
yeah, they do have a state park over there. So if you're ever up in that area, check it out. It's a dot on the map, but it'll send you down to the dot on the map we like to talk about, Little Caesars. That's what we got for trivia today. Been a good week of questions. Friday local trivia, Larry Davidson is the winner. When we come back, the live and local news you depend on here on WCLU. Stay with us.
Congratulations. Are you excited about the new job?
Yes, but I don't know what to do with my 401k.
That's a big decision. As a Modern Woodman financial representative, I can explain your options and help you to make the best choice. I'm Anthony Mike. Call me today at 427-6807.
Get to know your local Modern Woodman representative to plan for your financial future and learn about valuable member benefits. Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures. Securities offered through MWA Financial Services, Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of Modern Woodman of America.
It's a super simple way to save when you take advantage of the Early Bird Hibachi Special at Shogun Bistro of Glasgow. Every afternoon from 2 until 5, you can enjoy steak and chicken, or steak and shrimp, or chicken and shrimp for just $15 each. So many ways to take advantage of this Early Bird Special, from family outings to office meetings to just getting ahead of the crowd. The Early Bird Hibachi Special, steak and chicken, steak and shrimp, or chicken and shrimp, just $15 each from 2 till 5 at Shogun Bistro of Glasgow.
Money may not grow on trees, but it does grow at Citizens First. Hi, I'm Dana Chapman, branch manager at our Glasgow Southgate branch. We have a checking account at Citizens First that earns you real interest on your money, more than most CDs. Our Platinum Plus checking account. Our staff makes moving your account to Citizens First simple and seamless by helping you through the process. We're committed to a brighter future for both you and our community. Citizens First, the best choice for the best checking accounts. Stop by today to open your Platinum Plus account. Member FDIC.
CBS News updates. She is found alive and okay, and a suspect is under arrest in the kidnapping of 13-year-old Jamie Kloss, missing from her Wisconsin home since mid-October. WCCO radio reporter Edgar Linares.
The Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald released a statement on Facebook saying they were notified by the Douglas County, Wisconsin Sheriff's Department that they had located Jamie Kloss alive. Shortly after, a suspect was taken into custody in regards to the case.
Jamie Kloss was taken from her home the night that both her parents were shot and killed there. A high-profile search ensuing, but not a trace till yesterday. The story hits close to home for Alicia Kozakowicz. She was abducted and rescued by the FBI, now an advocate for people like Jamie.
She has a lot to return home to. This is likely not going to be a simple transition, but there are great people in Wisconsin who will be there to support her.
Jamie Kloss, alive. CBS News Update, I'm Jim Taylor.
The Royce Radio Family, WCLU, 1490 Glasgow. WCLU-FM, 102.3 Munfordville, Glasgow, and W276DO, 103.1 Glasgow.
The only place you need to go for all of your automotive needs is Gilead.com. Log on to browse our entire inventory of nearly 400 new and pre-owned vehicles. Take a video test drive, see the Carfax Vehicle History Report, calculate payments, apply for financing, get an instant cash offer for your vehicle from Kelley Blue Book, and check out our sales, parts, and service specials. All this with just a click of the mouse.
Find the next great piece for your home at Barron River Consignment, where the inventory is designed to provide something for everyone. Affordable household items from mid-century to home decor, including furniture, artwork, dinnerware, glassware, and more. Each piece is cleaned and polished to ensure the highest quality to become the perfect fit for your home. Barron River Consignment also offers estate and tag sale services. Shop for style without breaking the bank. Barron River Consignment, located on L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. and I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Integrity, strength, unity. All right, I got it.
Danny Duval wanted to get his teeth fixed, and he had a good sense about how to get it done.
I called 2 or 3 different doctors, and of course, I remember Dr. Thurman done that kind of work. And I knowed him back years ago when he worked for Dr. Hayes in Edmonton. I decided to go with him. It was an excellent decision, yes, real good decision, yes.
So Danny had a meet and greet with Dr. Thurman, and they came up with a plan.
He checked it all out and said it needed to be done, and we set up a date, and we done it. Wouldn't rush me or nothing, no pressure at all.
That's like so many of Dr. Thurman's patients who say there is no pressure about what to do or when, and there is no pain.
Really wasn't no pain at all. I had done like on a Friday and Monday. I was back at work.
What was Danny Duval's biggest surprise? I think he liked smiling again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time. And everybody said it really looked good.
Don't be intimidated or afraid to get a better bite. Call Dr. Jim Thurman at Glasgow Dental Care today at 270-651-5939.
For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce reporting. Yesterday afternoon, the Kentucky State Police Post 3 Bowling Green received a call for service in reference to a 2-vehicle injury collision involving a passenger car and a commercial vehicle. The collision had occurred near the Louisville Road, US 31W, approximately 1 mile south of Park City in Edmonson County. Trooper Daniel Pretty, along with other KSP personnel, responded to the collision. A preliminary investigation has revealed that James E. Arms, age 32, of Park City, was operating a 1999 Chevrolet passenger car traveling southbound on the Louisville Road when his vehicle exited the right shoulder of the roadway briefly. Arms re-entered the roadway, overcorrecting, causing his vehicle to rotate counterclockwise across the yellow center line of the roadway into the path of travel of Stephanie Dawkins, age 26, of Scottsdale, Georgia, who was traveling northbound in a 2016 Freightliner semi-truck. Dawkins' vehicle then struck the passenger side of Arms' vehicle. Both Arms and a passenger, Lavonda J. Flannery, age 45, of Rocky Hill, were pronounced dead on the scene by the Edmonson County Coroner's Office. They were unrestrained at the time of the collision. Stephanie Dawkins did not report an injury. The investigation continues and is currently being led by Trooper Daniel Pretty. He was assisted on the scene by other KSP personnel, Edmonson County Sheriff's Department, Park City, Cleveland, and Rocky Hill Fire Departments, Edmonson County Coroner's Office, and the Medical Center EMS. No further information is available for release at this time. The Barron County Schools Board of Education had their first meeting of the year last night at the central office. It was the first board meeting for newly elected member Mike Miller. Miller replaces Charlotte Bills, who did not run for re-election. Superintendent Bo Matthews recognized the importance of a strong board at the onset of the meeting.
We start off with School Board Appreciation Month, and we want to thank all of our locally elected school board members for their service to the students and staff of the Barron County School District. They're good stewards with the taxpayers of Barron County's money, and we certainly appreciate the vision that they have for this district.
Assistant Superintendent Courtney Cruz reviewed the current board positions.
Our board chair is Carrie Dilly, vice chair is Shelley Gross. Other board members are Tammy Gross, Amanda Wright, and Mike Miller. We certainly thank them for being the school district's greatest volunteers.
In other business, the board learned from Director of Pupil Personnel Anthony Frazier that school will start 1 week later next year. Frazier said based on parent surveys, the consensus was for the first day of school next fall to be August the 14th, and the board passed the first draft of next year's budget. Finance Director Joe Murley said it's a process they have to look closely at.
There's a lot of unknowns still. We do know that classified costs will still go up. The pension cost will go up for every school district.
Pension costs sure to be the topic of discussion at the current legislative session in Frankfort. Recognitions at the board meeting included Students of the Month Riley Decker from Highsville Elementary and Aaron Russell from Barron County High School. Certified Employee of the Month Tammy Jones from Highsville. Classified Employee of the Month Mickey Lindsay from Highsville. And the Volunteer of the Month is Trevor Phillips from Highsville. Wednesday evening, Glasgow police arrested Dustin Tyler Vibbert on drug charges after dispatchers notified officers of a complaint at the dollar store on Columbia Avenue and had an an outstanding warrant for his arrest. Vibert was arrested without incident. However, Suboxone was found in his pockets. He was charged with possession of a controlled substance, second degree, and lodged in the Barron County Jail.
I was currently with no prosthetic company, and I was just getting my beginner's prosthetic, and it still wasn't comfortable.
That's when Mike met William Bray with Extreme Prosthetics.
I met Mr. Bray at one of my daughter's ball games, and he'd handed me a card, and he seemed very confident and knew what he was talking about, so I decided to go see Mr. Bray just for a consultation, and just in minutes I was more confident in it, full range of motion.
Mike and many others have given great testimonials for William Bray and Extreme Prosthetics at 400 South Broadway in Glasgow, which you can check out online at comfortforamputees.com.
Yeah, I'm a rather large guy, and it takes a special prosthetic to carry my weight. In the first meeting with Mr. Bray, he realized by looking at the material they used to assemble my prosthetic that it wasn't at the weight limit to carry my weight, and had I not went to that consultation, I'd have never known that.
Professional care from someone who wears a prosthetic themselves. William Bray and Extreme Prosthetics.
If you're just not confident with it, I'd say go see Mr. Bray.
Call 629-5347.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jaleesa Chapman. Governor Matt Bevin says he's planning to file for re-election in 2019.
Governor Bevin, a Republican, says he will file paperwork before the January 29th deadline. He tells the newspaper that he is still undecided on a running mate. Several high-profile Democrats have also announced that they are running, and one other Republican, State Representative Robert Goforth, has also filed for the governor's race.
WKYT's Amber Philpott reporting. Abortion legislation remains in the talks in Frankfurt. Pro-life lawmakers unveiled their agenda, including a measure that would create a database to track abortion-inducing drugs. Republican Senator Robbie Mills of Henderson sponsors that bill.
It actually adds specific language that includes the prescribing of certain drugs as an abortion that must be reported.
It passed a Senate committee Thursday. A Kentucky man is dead after he jumped into a river to evade police. Pike County officials say they tried to arrest Justin Hatfield at his home Thursday morning after security footage showed him allegedly stealing a purse from a car in a local parking lot. Police say he assaulted an officer and then jumped into a nearby river, causing him to freeze to death. Emergency Management Director Doug Tackett telling WYMT.
When it's 25 degrees and you go into water that's probably anywhere from 40 degrees to 35 degree water, your body core temperature is going to drop really quick.
Hatfield was found later across the river in West Virginia. And the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources is offering a new either-sex bow hunting permit for this year's elk season. State officials say the new permit gives archery and crossbow hunters a choice in whether to take a male or female elk. The new option is expected to increase the success rate for hunters. I'm Jaleesa Chapman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
A new year can often bring new challenges, but not when it comes to buying a vehicle at Bailey Gibson. At 306 Happy Valley Road, there will be no high-pressure haggling, just an honest effort to help you find the car or truck you're searching for. No stress or fret at Bailey Gibson in 2019. All you have to do is enjoy your new ride and that new car smell.
Yum! That new car smell is the best. It's almost as good as chocolate.
306 Happy Valley Road in Glasgow, the home of Bailey Gibson Buick GMC.
All right, thank you, Lola. It's 22 degrees in downtown Glasgow at 7:19. We'll get our next check of local sports with Sam Royce. Sam, what's going on in the world of sports?
Well, last night there was a small schedule of basketball action. Edmonson County's girls beat Hart County 68-56. Whitesville Trinity's girls beat Cumberland County 46-25. On the boys' side, Edmonson County defeated Cumberland County 61-34, and South Warren defeated Whitesville Trinity 72-67. A lot more basketball action around the area tonight as the Glasgow Scotties welcome in the Allen County Scottsville Patriots to Scotty Gym for it's a big 15th District girl-boy doubleheader with the girls playing at 6, and Joe, Larry, and Bruce Allen will have the broadcast of both games starting at 5:50 on Light 102.3, WCLU 103.1 FM, and of course 1490 AM, or online you can catch the play-by-play action at playwclu.com. Another girl-boy doubleheaders tonight. Barron County hosts Monroe County in another big 15th District basketball game. Caverna plays host to Greene County. Hart County is at home against LaRue. Clinton County is on the road at Russell County. Warren East plays at Greenwood. Warren Central was to host Bowling Green tonight in probably the marquee game, maybe even statewide. But as I understand, there's some mechanical difficulties at the Warren Central gym, so they have postponed that ball game to, I think, next Friday night, Wes.
Okay.
That's interesting. And then Franklin Simpson goes down to Russellville, and Logan County entertains Todd County Central. And in girls action only tonight, Medcalf County travels to Adair County. South Warren visits Muhlenberg County.
That's a big schedule of basketball coming up for you. And, of course, the Kentucky High School Scoreboard Show will be on, concluding our coverage tonight of the Scotties.
That's right.
All right. We'll pause now, come back with a check of local weather. We're going to do our birthday list for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Phone lines are open here at 270-651-9149. It's all coming up next here on Good Morning Live.
Who will be the future face of Pedigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance. Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Here, offering over 100 online degree options, along with caring faculty, award-winning support, and the flexibility you need to reach your goals. We are here to help. So let's climb together. Spring registration is going on now at WKU in Glasgow. Visit wku.edu/start/spring.
All right, let's take a look at the local weather forecast from meteorologist at the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic, who says question marks are in the air.
We cloud over today, 43, then some steady rain early this evening with showers overnight with some sleet or freezing rain or snow mixing in later. In the low 30s, as you get into the advisory area or close to it, there could be some icing or light accumulations of snow and ice. Rain showers and steady rain around tomorrow. I think we get another round of steady rain later in the mid-40s with maybe more ice and snow north. And then some steady rain tomorrow evening, continuing in showers overnight with showers ending by midday Sunday with highs in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. As you take a look at the downtown roof camera, you can see a sunshiny day, but our high for today just 43 degrees, so dress for it. Let's take a look at the current conditions, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, barometer still at 30.37. The winds are northwest at 3 miles an hour. Humidity remains at 85%. We've had no precipitation, and the current temperature remains at 22 degrees.
All right. That rain gauge is going to change a little bit probably over the weekend. We knew that for sure. It's fairly like we just don't know what kind of precipitation we're going to get, but stay tuned. We'll keep you as informed as we can on that matter. All right, coming up next, speaking about going on over the weekend, we got birthday celebrations all over this weekend, and a lot of them are going to take place at Ralphie's Fun Center. Ralphie's brings you the birthday list coming up right after this in 30 seconds.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
That's right, the Ralphie's Fun Center birthday list. Sam Royce has a list of honorees for today, Sam.
Big happy birthdays to these fine folks today. Maggie Brown, Cindy Rutledge, Margie Dawsey, Madison Curley, Anna Coulter. Josh Bowes is 46. Jeff Gibson has a birthday today. Susan Nichols, G. Settles, A.D. Herndon, Reuben Runyon, Brianna Beard is 20 today. Ava Claire Pendleton is 6. LaTanya Hayes, Terry Shannon, and Elise England turns 12 years old today. And Eloise Jackson has a birthday today. And today is also here at WCLU Eloise Jackson Day.
That's right. If you see her around town, be sure you pat her on the back, tell her she's good as gold from her friends at WCLU, and a little taste of Texas, where good friends meet for great food and home for the best steaks in town. And, of course, it's where we give away a weekly free meal to a little taste of Texas to one of our 5 good as gold honorees. Sam, I'm going to ask you to hand me that little taste of Texas cowboy hat right there in front of you, and stir that up for me real quick. We'll go ahead and get our winner for today, and we'll add to the winners list. So these are all 5 of your Good as Gold honorees from the day, drawing out of this Texas cowboy hat. My eyes are closed. Well, just to show you, my eyes are closed, and I'm picking one right now. The proof is in the pudding. It's Tuesday. It's Justin Browning. So Justin Browning wins our weekly Little Taste of Texas giveaway. He's getting a free meal to a Little Taste of Texas, home for the best steaks in town. That gets our winners list up to date. Now, let's continue with more birthdays. And Saturday, Sam Royce.
On Saturday, January the 12th, Lauren Irvin has a birthday. Richard Stewart, Angela Clay, Bobby Druin, Kenny Sarton, Ronnie Jeffries, Melissa Crumpton has a birthday. Steve Jones, Hannah Kingery, John Rogers, Gwen Young, and Krista George Duckett. Now, Bill and Kelly Milan will celebrate their 9th wedding anniversary tomorrow as well. So congratulations to that couple. Lacey Dawn Wood on Sunday. Lacey Dawn Wood has a birthday. Chris Poore turns 49 on Sunday. Jason Botts, Patricia Just, Mary Lee Klein, Hadley Hammer. Amen. Dean Glass, Kevin Morgan, and Tina Brown all have birthdays on Sunday. Happy birthday to all, and once again, Eloise Jackson is the person of the day here at WCLU. So if you see Eloise today, not only wish her a happy birthday, but also tell her she's as good as gold.
That's right. And the phones have been ringing too, so we'll check our voicemail and get that list updated here in just a minute. Also coming up on our agenda for today, we have our next round of Tidbit News. And we will also have another round. We'll have to do this off of Facebook, but it is This Day in Music History. That's coming up next here in just a moment. But now, some of the good word from our friends at Refuge Church of Christ.
Good morning, friends. Within the pages of the Bible, we are told that Jesus loved the church so much that he gave his lifeblood for it. He purchased the church with his very life. Jesus is the Savior of the church. Jesus said in Matthew 16 that he would build his church. However, today some seem to think that the church is something optional for them. Something is terribly wrong with professed Christians who do not identify with the church, attend the worship periods of the church, love the church, invest themselves in the church, and support the church with their time, energies, and money. True Christians will carry the needs of the church in their hearts. However, church is not a spectator sport. We're not supposed to be entertained by the church, but rather we are supposed to show the love of God to a lost and dying world through the church. Where will you be this Sunday? On the lake or in the house of worship? On the golf course or in church? In front of the TV after having slept late, or assembled with other Christians for the purpose of worshiping God? Now, having said that, will we go forth from our houses of worship and serve the world around us during the week? Christians are supposed to be salt and light to the world. Christians are church. How about you? This is Danny White for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Hello, I'm Kathy Murray. Did you know that some healthcare professionals still make house calls? Amedisys Home Health is a group of compassionate professionals who deliver the best care to our patients in their homes. Whether you're recovering from a surgery or recuperating from an illness, our home health nurses, aides, and therapists can provide medication and treatment to you in your home. Ask your doctors if you qualify for home health care, or call Amedisys Home Health Care at 270-651-7640. Money may not grow on trees, but it does grow at Citizens First. Hi, I'm Dana Chapman, branch manager at our Glasgow Southgate branch. We have a checking account at Citizens First that earns you real interest on your money, more than most CDs. Our Platinum Plus checking account. Our staff makes moving your account to Citizens First simple and seamless by helping you through the process. We're committed to a brighter future for both you and our community. Citizens First, the best choice for the best checking accounts. Stop by today to open your Platinum Plus account. Member FDIC.
You want to earn your degree, but life is busy, and that dream often seems out of reach. But it's not. You just need a flexible degree program that helps you fit college into your busy schedule. That's why WKU Online is here, offering over 100 online degree options, along with caring faculty, award-winning support, and the flexibility you need to reach your goals. We are here to help. So let's climb together. Spring registration is going on now at WKU in Glasgow. Visit wku.edu/start/spring.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local, family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
It just takes one look at the new facility at 1300 West Main Street, and you can tell the People's Bank is growing. And that's because we have great customers who know a thing or two about growth. And what they'll all tell you is, well, the best growth strategy has always been hard work. That's why when it came time for Jerry Anderson to expand his cattle operation, he trusted the growth of his herd to the People's Bank, who worked hard to find the unique solutions to fit his needs. Experience what growth can be like with the People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, we're back here in the studio, and the birthday list continues to grow, Uncle Sam. Who else you got on there for us?
Dorothy Chase turns 91 years old tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
And KT Ford has a birthday tomorrow, and that's wished to him from friends at the Woodsonville Baptist Church.
All right. All right, so we're caught up on that. Now, let's do it's one of my favorite things to do. Tidbits.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
From around the globe and up the street, it's Tidbit News. The Tidbit variety this morning. Sam Royce is my guest host, and it's been fun having you in here this morning, Uncle Sam.
It's always enjoyable, Wes, and glad to help out, man.
We've gotten to the bottom of a few things this morning. First, we know why the games is being postponed till next Friday, and we know from County Judge Executive and former fireman Michael Hale that it's actually more difficult in the summer to put out fires than it is in the winter.
Well, Michael should know, and it just gives us the opportunity to say this, Wes, that it's a tough job regardless of what season of the year it is, and that we all appreciate the job that they do, and all of our first responder people for that matter. But we were talking about firefighters, and that's why that came out. But thanks to the judge for sharing that with us, and once again, we certainly appreciate the job that our firefighters in our community certainly do.
All right, well, let's do Tidbit News. All right, this is my first headline here. This is out of California. It's a weird headline, okay? But we'll throw this on the screen here. It's police search for a man who licked a doorbell for 3 hours in California. As you can see on EPB 6, there's a video that it's going to show you here in a minute. I'm going to mute that video. But so here's what happened. A man who spent 3 hours licking a doorbell as a family was sleeping inside their home has been charged with prowling and theft as he should be. There you can see the video. I don't know. Can you see that, Uncle Sam, on the screen?
I can see it, Wes. I can see.
It is what it sounds like. It's a man licking a doorbell. Can you imagine being in your house and just about every 2 or 3 minutes that doorbell go off? And you wonder what's going on. And you have to explain to your kids, there's an idiot at the door.
Well, at my house, it's going to if anybody knows my dog Murphy, they know what's going to happen if they know Murphy. But when the doorbell goes off, I don't have any real comment other than what my good friend Charlie Day would say, Sam Royce, what a world we live in, brother.
That's right.
It's just, that's
The idiot's name is Roberto Daniel Arroyo, 33. Basically, the footage shows the man leaning his head against the intercom outside the front door and then licking the doorbell from several different angles. He carried on licking for 3 hours, and the family has named as Sylvia Dungan, and her husband and children were at home. Mrs. Dungan and husband were they gave sort of an account. And here's what she said. She says, I thought, boy, there's a lot of traffic. I go, Sam, in the morning, my son doesn't get home until 6 a.m. So who in the heck is that? They alerted the police, who said the footage was so clear they quickly identified him. I mean, positive ID, there he is, Arroyo, the idiot. And I'd like to forget about that one, because that's just weird. That's just weird. Who does that?
I don't know. You know, back in the day, it was thought that people thought it was fun to go to people's houses, ring the doorbell, and run off. They thought that was really funny, and I'm sure I probably did it a time or two when I was a younger man.
Well, Leslie Avenue set up perfect for that.
But at least they didn't sit around for 3 hours, you know, doing that stuff.
Some drugs involved there, I believe.
Well, I don't know, but it's a little weird.
If it ain't drugs, it's real weird. All right, so that's what I've got. Then check out this picture. This is my next story. There's not a lot to this story other than what you see, and the headline reads, German chocolate factory spill makes for a sweet street. And what we are describing and what the folks on EPB6 and Facebook can see is true. The streets are flooded with chocolate. It's a dream come true. I can't say it any plainer than that.
An appropriate caption to that up there is it said it was a sweet street. Now, I don't know if the coconut was included in the German chocolate, which, by the way, is your daddy's favorite type of cake, or used to be. That was his request on birthdays, to have a German chocolate birthday cake. But that is definitely a sweet street.
Now, I don't know the German metrics here, but they're saying about a TONNE of chocolate. Sounds like ton, but kind of looks like a whole lot more than a ton of chocolate. But can you imagine just getting up in the morning down there in downtown World, Germany, and you got your robe on, getting the morning paper? Somebody probably had a heart attack. They had to have.
I don't know.
Because when you think about, okay, when I die and go to heaven, the streets are either going to be made of gold or they're going to be made of chocolate. Somebody thought they'd already died and got there.
Well, I'm sure there were some interesting reactions there in that town in Germany of the sweet street flow. I don't know. It could be a law. I do not know.
It looks so daggone good.
Yeah.
It just looks good. Look at that.
And you got to wonder if people just flock to the street to take a taste, if they, as you know, just to
quality
maybe
control.
Got down there and it sounds a little nasty. Just like the man at the doorbell, just took him a taste there, right there in the street.
I mean, it probably will never happen again in your lifetime that the street's flooded with chocolate. That's just funny. It's funny, and
there was a malfunction there in the factory somewhere.
Had to have been. Had to have been. An unfortunate but funny thing to think about. Here's some real funny stuff to think about. Stuff that's 50 years old in 2019. This stuff's turning 50 years old in 2019. The first of which is Jennifer Aniston, who will be 50 on the 11th of February. She's 50. She's looking good for her age, carrying that well. She could play the role of somebody my age, you know, probably still.
She's a talented actress.
Really, really talented actress. Another thing, this is a kind of a ballpark thing, has become in recent decades, if you will. Sweet Caroline, the Neil Diamond hit, turns 50 this year.
As I said when we were talking about it, it's probably played more now at ballparks across America. You know, it's sort of a thing that they can get crowds to join in and sing on the refrain or whatever they call that now.
Sure.
ballparks across America, big league ballparks, all the way down to high school ballparks will play that. And so Neil Diamond's legendary song probably gets more play now than it did when it first was released.
That's true, and at least it maybe not the year '69, but at least every year after that.
And it just goes to show that some songs, they're timeless. They've been played all of this time. You know, I often wonder, will songs that are being released today, will they still be being played across the airwaves and at ballparks 50 and 60 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know either, because I'm with you on that. I have those same thoughts a lot of times and question that, and I think, is this song written to last?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them aren't. Most of them are very time sensitive, very attached to the lingo of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of sad, because I do think there's good music coming out today. It's just not really, some of it's just not built to transcend into the decades that will come.
Well, it's not Sweet Caroline, that's for sure.
That's right.
It's surely not.
Well, some other things that are turning 50 this year, ATM machines are turning 50, which makes this next one easier to believe. And that is, the Internet is 50. Now, a lot of folks are going to scratch their head and say, wait a minute, how is the Internet 50 years old? Well, let me explain. The long-running debate about when the Internet was born, with many tech heads citing April the 7th of 1969 as the Internet's official birthday. That's the day the first official request for comments, or RFC, was published, which included research, proposals, and ideas for the creation of true Internet technology. Mostly used for military purposes in those days. You had the Cold War where the Internet was used, and we know that now. But the way we think of the consumer Internet, much younger. But 50 years ago, the Internet was born. And Al Gore was right there. I'm just kidding.
Well, certainly they're smart people to design and think up and design those things. And I don't know if they had in mind at that time that it would become the sensation that it's become 50 years later. And speaking of ATMs, I'm not sure I could pull up at an ATM and really know how to operate it. It's something that I don't do a whole lot of.
It's a nerve-wracking process. You're giving away your information, and then it's going to spit out money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most comforting transaction in the world.
Yeah, but probably something I ought to try to learn how to do, Wes. You know, is to operate an ATM machine.
Yeah, well, we can go do that today if you want. I could use some money.
Too cold.
Speaking of things that changed the world, 1969 was Woodstock.
Unbelievable.
Woodstock is 50. Think about that.
Well,
Woodstock is 50. That's crazy.
You know,
Wendy's is 50.
Wendy's. Now, if you want, I'll tell the tale.
Tell the tale.
First off, Woodstock, I was really a little too young to actually remember Woodstock going on. It was broadcast on the nightly news, and it was a lot of people probably were appalled by what was going on at Woodstock. You know, all these young people on one big farm in New York, and it's nothing but rock and roll for a whole weekend. But as it turns out, it was probably one of the most wonderful happenings in certainly in my lifetime. Now, to the Wendy's thing.
Hold on, I do want to interject there. It seems like this is coming from somebody who definitely isn't old enough to remember it. But it's almost like if you study what Woodstock was, how it started, who was there. For the next 15 years after Woodstock, it was almost like if you weren't at Woodstock, you were not on the upper echelon of musicians.
Of the musicians.
It's almost like if you weren't there, then you were nobody in music.
Well,
now, I know that's not true for every case, but you can make a generalization of the sort.
And with my apologies to those that I will not remember, but one of that I do remember that were there as a group at that time was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And, you know, those guys are still putting out music today, and I'm sure there are lots of others that are doing the same thing.
Sure.
But
Santana.
that they put out a lot of good. There was an album made with some of the recordings, not the whole thing of Woodstock, and then there's been movies and documentaries. So it was quite the thing, and I've never really heard how it really came about, and how they were able to pull so many big-time musicians to one spot back in it. But then what has happened since is now there's just all kinds of outdoor music festivals throughout the world. And so that Woodstock certainly has its rightful place in history.
Certainly when you take in the elements, it's better to experience musical art perhaps in on the canvas that God created, in the outdoors. That's
right. That's right.
Other things that are 50, we said Wendy's. Can you believe it? Dave Thomas founded Wendy's in Columbus, Ohio 50 years ago.
I can, and I remember that we didn't get our Wendy's here in Glasgow till much later than that. Bowling Green had one. And Buddy, when I first was at Western Kentucky, my first year of college, the slogan was the Wendy's were hot and juicy, and juicy hamburgers, and they were, But one time, I got to make this quick. One time, we had played a baseball game down there on a Saturday, and my daddy had come down to see that ball game, and so I was riding back to Glasgow with Dad that day, and so I said, let's go by Wendy's. He's never had a Wendy's before, and later on in life he became a huge fan of Wendy's. I guarantee you that. But we stopped at that Wendy's down on the bypass. Well, he wanted to eat his Wendy's on the way home. On the way home, and he didn't know that the slogan was hot and juicy, and he didn't know that the hamburger was hot and juicy. So we're driving up the bypass, and we got to what most folks would remember as the Eternal Light there at that big intersection at the bypass, and I don't know what street that is. Somebody will. But he was trying to eat that hamburger in the car. And that hamburger was running the juice from the hamburger and the tomato and the mustard and the ketchup was running down his arm, and he rolled down his window in the car and he threw that thing out the window. He said, "That's the nastiest hamburger I've ever tried to eat." Now, to most folks, they're not going to think that's funny, but
if you knew him,
to me and Henry and Charlie B, we just think that's the funniest thing in the whole wide world. And I saw it up close and in person. And like I said, later on in life, he became a big fan of Wendy's. And not many times when one of us wouldn't walk out of the house, he'd go, "Bring me back a Frosty." So happy birthday to Wendy's and their 50-year-old, and thank you for indulging the story about my daddy and Wendy's.
I love to hear it. I've heard it many times. 50 years ago. Some other things that are 50 years old. Abbey Road. That's 50 years old.
I recently saw on the television for the second time one of those an interview with Sir Paul McCartney, and he gave an account of Abbey Road, and when you got that up on the screen right there, and most folks probably saw the same news show that I saw, but they were couldn't really come up with a catchy title for that particular album, and I think it was Sir Paul that just says, "Why don't we just call it Abbey Road?" And so they did. It sounds cool, and they just walked. That was a crosswalk there, right across from the studio where they recorded that album. And I think that Paul was actually barefoot in that picture. Now that's only according to that. It was an interesting show, obviously, of sitting and listening to him.
And we'll wrap it up with some of our older folks will find this very interesting. That it was 50 years ago, after nearly 150 years of Norman Rockwell's Saturday Evening Post, they had their final issue. That's iconic American history right there. The Saturday Evening Post ended 50 years ago in 1969. And a lot of historic, iconic pieces of artwork featured from Norman Rockwell there and those things. So, again, just kind of interesting.
It
50
is
years seems like a long time. It is, especially when you put it in that context.
It is interesting, and so many of the folks that really appreciated the Saturday Evening Post and actually read the Saturday Evening Post. And Norman Rockwell's artwork, they're no longer with us, and the younger folks just don't have any idea.
They don't.
They don't have any idea who. Heck, well, some of these people, these younger folks, they may not know who Paul McCartney is.
I'm sure they
you know, it's just how things get away from us.
All right. It is 7:50, 10 minutes to the top of the hour. We're going to make some time to do a little more digging back into history in the form of music. We're going to play some of that music, so we are going to say bye to our Facebook audience. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. If you're about to get in the car and head to work, just go ahead and join us on one of our two fabulous stations, 102.3 FM, or you can get us on 1490 AM, and also we are on 103.1. So goodbye to Facebook. When we come back, it's This Day in Music History. Stay tuned.
Don't miss a great night out for a great cause Saturday, January 26th at the Cave City Convention Center.